Hey, what's up? This your girl Gigi. Sorry I look a little busted right now, but it's bedtime and I was about to go to bed. But I decided to do a video response in regards to black women wearing weaves and getting relaxers, and the thought is it's a form of self-hate, and people hating being black, or they're trying to be white, or they're trying to be something they're not. And speaking as a black woman, I would have to say that I disagree. Basically, we get relaxers is because it's just something that's done. It's just something that we do. It's kind of like a rites of passage type thing. It's like when you hit a certain age, it's like, oh, it's time for my relaxer, my first relaxer. It's just something that is done. I don't really can't explain it. It's like it's unconsciously done. It's not something that's saying that, oh, well, I want to ignore being black. I don't want to accept my natural roots and blase blase. It's just something that's been passed down. And if you think about if you think about history and how black people are in history, and if you think about the days of the Jim Crow laws and everything about that, and how black people we were the bottom of the totem pole, or whatever you want to call it. Like we were down here in society. Everything about us was wrong according to society. Our skin, our hair, everything about us was not accepted. And so I'm thinking that in those days, they used to straighten their hair. Now, of course, that's where it came from. So they used to straighten their hair in a form of assimilation, in a way to fit more in, so they didn't look too much opposite of their white counterparts. They didn't want to look too much opposite. So they're like, okay, let's straighten our hair, and then maybe we'd be accepted a little more if we looked just a little more like them. And that's speaking of a history perspective. I'm thinking of it back then, because you got to put yourself in the shoes of those people back then. You can't hate them for that, because you have to think of that era and that time, and how you would have felt. Like, you want to fit into society. You don't want to be an outcast of society. I mean, there was some people who went against it and were like, I'm black and I'm proud, I love it. But there are also people who wanted to fit in and wanted to be white, and it became like and it was like whitewashed. Your brain is kind of whitewashed. And then we got to the point of the Black Panther Party and the whole revolution, and I'm black and I'm proud, say it loud, and wearing their afros, and just being proud of being black, and being empowered of being black, and being uplifted, and saying, this is who I am, this is how I was born, and this is who I'm gonna be. And that was beautiful. And then came the 80s, I guess around the 80s or whatever. I'm not too much into the history of what hair or whatever, but I'm thinking around the 80s is where chemicals started coming back, Jerry curl and all that, and then the relaxers came back and everything like that, and it just all of a sudden just begun again. The whole trend of relaxers. Now it's just because it's just unconsciously in our brains to do. And so we just do it. It has nothing to do with trying to be something. So what I'm saying, for all the people out there who are saying that it's a form of self-hate, we don't love ourselves, and all that other stuff, what I'm trying to say, instead of putting each other down, which is what's wrong with our culture now, is because we put each other down so much. We're our worst critics. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking, instead of doing that, what we need to do is empower each other. Empower each other, uplift each other, educate each other, okay? If you don't have a problem with people in relaxers, educate them about their natural hair. Teach them that their natural hair can be manageable. Their natural hair can grow. Teach them the beauty of their natural hair. Teach them the beauty of everything about them. Do not put them down saying, oh, you hate yourself and you do this and you do that. Instead, educate them, because a lot of the times it's miseducation. Trust me. I used to have a relaxer in my hair, and I didn't know anything about natural hair at all, okay? I didn't know anything about, oh yeah, natural hair, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. I didn't know. I was uneducated about it. And what made me want to go natural is I was watching America's Next Top Model, and I saw Yaya, and she had a big afro, and she had this thick, beautiful hair, and it just looked so gorgeous on her. I was like, dang, I want my hair like that. But I didn't know the process, how to get there. I didn't know, okay, well, at first I need to, cut off all the relaxed ends and start fresh and have my hair just grow out. And I didn't understand the products that I needed to use. I was using grease, hair grease. Hair grease is bad for your hair. A lot of people don't know that. Don't use petroleum products, mineral oil products. Don't use that. Use natural products, nice natural oils. I didn't know that. What else didn't I know? I didn't know that relaxers were that damaging damaging to your hair. I didn't know the fact that relaxers weakened the protein bonds in your hair, and that's why it broke off, and that's why it didn't grow. I didn't know that. But it took me to educate myself to know that. And it took me to look at people who are teaching me about that. I was on YouTube, and there's information. People who are teaching you, telling you about it. You know what I'm saying? When somebody's putting you down, you don't want to listen. But if somebody's empowering you and teaching you about it, then you're listening. You know what I'm saying? And so you just got to think, okay, so how about we just go full circle? How about that in history? You know, we went from the relaxers to, you know, being black and I'm proud, and then we went back to the relaxers. Now it's time to empower each other and say, you know, it's back to black and I'm proud. Let's be who we are. So, you know what I'm saying? You have to think outside the box into a more, you know, broader perspective on everything. And you got to look at it from the history. You got to look at our history, you know, of how we were to understand how we are today, and think about how we are going to be in the future and what we can do to help the future and help our people and help educate, help teach them. So don't put each other down. Stop saying it's this and this, because that's not helping. That's actually giving into whatever somebody else's mindset of just like breaking each other down and just telling us that this and this. I just think it's wrong to judge when you don't really know the facts, or you don't know history, or you don't really know why people do the things they do. Instead, teach them about stuff and teach them about the naturals. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So anyways, like me, you know, I'm going natural, all natural. After I done taught myself and got inspired. And weaves are not bad either, because weaves can be used to protect your hair, you know, especially during the winter time, so don't dry out too much, and so you don't be picking at it. And so right now, here I am with my kinky twists, and they're very cute. You think they're cute? I think they're cute. Kinky twist. So yeah, that's why I wear weaves. I like weaves. It ain't because I'm trying to be something else. You know, sometimes it's just for style. People want different looks. You know what I'm saying? I used to want different looks. I mean, shoes. Sometimes I still wear wigs and weaves and everything like that. But it's not because I'm ashamed. It's just because it's to protect my hair and to do whatever. But anyways, I think I've said enough. I think I've babbled enough. You know, it is nighttime. I am tired and all that other stuff. So I think I'm going to go to bed now. So I'm going to holler at y'all later. Deuces. And I hope that you really take what I said into consideration about, you know, empowering, uplifting. I can't say it enough. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying do it. Help your people. Don't put down and degrade your people. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, that's enough from Gigi. I'm out. Deuces.